The new concept, guys, this is database configuration. We already discussed about working with controllers, views, models, and previously we seen how to work with the libraries, how to load the libraries into our controller, as well as helpers. This is what we seen as of now. Now, the database configuration. So we already know all the basics of our CodeIgniter and how to load the libraries, how to load the helpers, how to call the models into controllers, and everything. We are ready. Now it's time to know about database configuration. How to configure the database. You know already in core PHP how we are going to connect to DB every time. We will create a separate file, some connect.php, and wherever we want, we will include that connection wherever we want in core PHP. But here we don't want to include any connection here. We have a global configuration file for database, guys. That is database.php. It is available in our config folder. We already told you every configuration settings, maybe network settings or site settings or URL, whatever it may be, everything was available in our config folder. Open config folder, there you can see database.php is a file. So there we have to define the database configuration. First open our php myadmin and create one database. Meanwhile, localhost php myadmin. I'm just going to create it, localhost / php myadmin. Let me go and let me create one database for our application. The application we are going to set up into the thing, guys. Let me go to databases. Can you see the list of available databases? I have your 7:30 a.m. right? So we have stock, PHP myadmin. These are the some databases. I want to create one database called news because our project name is news. So all the news related stuff I want to keep here. If you are doing college, I can make it database name as college, right? Now I'm going to save this as UTF-8 General CI. Do you know why I'm selecting this option only? Because a lot of options are there. I'm selecting this only. When we are working with the multiple languages, if you want to store multiple languages into your DB, it is a special and you have to select this option. It will support multilingual. That's why I'm selecting UTF-8 General CI. Right, let us create database. Yes, database is created. So now open your configuration database.php. Go to your application folder. In application, we have config folder. Inside config, we have a file called database.php. This is the file we have. Let us open this file. I'm just opening the file here. Can you see this is the database, guys? Guys, I'm just requesting you, everybody, please try to read each and every option which we are able to see here, guys, right? DSN, host name. 1 minute, please. Guys, this is my request, all of you. Everybody, please try to read each and every option. These are maybe comments, but these comments will help you a lot. And one more thing, guys, by using CodeIgniter, we can work with the supported databases, guys. These are all the supported databases where we can work with Qubit, IBase, MySQL, Oracle 8. You can work with Oracle 8 CodeIgniter, right? PostgreSQL, SQLite, SQLite, SQL Server. So by using we have major databases. By using all these things, we can work with the databases, guys. This is what the supported by the CodeIgniter. But by default, we are working with MySQL database. Here, don't forget, read every option: DSN, host name, username, password, database, DB driver, right? So DB prefix and everything you have to read. Why? Because just if you can bit come down, this is the array they are explaining you. In this array, they will explain you what is DSN, what is a host name, username, password. If you can read the manual, just nothing but not manual, just if you can read these comments, you will understand what is DSN, what is host name and all. So what is the database username, guys? By default, database username is a root. Yes, you can set the root. And what is the database password? Root doesn't have any password. We know that by default root doesn't have any password. And what is the database name? Just now we created a database called news, guys. That's it. You can go with the same, guys. No problem. Right. That's all. Your database configuration is done. Once the database configuration is completed, save the file, guys. Now, if you want to work with the database, how we can work with the database, guys? Here we have to know now, right? Remember, CodeIgniter framework is providing some of the built-in libraries for to work with the database, guys. There are some predefined methods also there, so we can use those methods to work with the database. You want to execute select query, insert query, delete query, update query, whatever the query we want to execute, there is a library and we have to import the library. See, yesterday we worked with form validation. To work with the form validation, we loaded a library, right? In the same manner, if you want to work with the database, we have to load the database library. So once database library is loaded into a controller, we can able to work with the database. Remember, database library you can load into your controller or you can load into your model also. But where to load, in model or controller, we will see it later, guys, right? But I will always use it to load DB in my controller only. Why? Because if you can load anything in a controller that is available for your model, in a controller, you may load one model or two models or three models, 10 models also you can load in one controller, but all these models database is going to be available, guys, if you can load into controller. But if you are loading in each and every controller, then what happened? So 10 more, sorry, if you are loading database in each and every model, then what happened? 10 models, 10 times you have to load the database. But if it is in controller, one time is enough for all the controllers. I mean, just load the controllers for all the models. If you can load into one controller, that is enough, guys, right? That also we will see slowly we can enter into this, guys, don't worry, right? So how can I work with the database, guys? Yeah, we told you there is a library. Let me show you localhost news. Go to user guide. Yeah, I'm just going to user guide here. Can you see database reference here in the manual? Click on this. Yeah, this is database configuration, guys. Just now we seen, right? If you want, you can read this manual also. You will get some more clarity. We don't want to go for it, I believe. I just told you, right? So this is how we set localhost, root, password is empty, your database name. This is what we did. And remaining all are not required for you. If you want to know about what is pconnect, what is db debug, what is cache on, if you want to know, read the manual, so we will get the things clear. But right now, no need to worry about it. So connecting to database, yeah, we can connect to database in two ways, guys. One is automatic connection and one more is manual connection. What is automatic connection? What is manual connection? If we can check this, can you see automatically connect and manually connect? If you want to connect to DB manually in every controller, what we will do, we will use this library, guys. The list of load of database. What is this database? This is what exactly way of loading database library. Once you loaded this into your controller, database was automatically available for each and every method, each and every model, guys. Especially I'm talking about load database in controller. Or we can load into model also, guys, whatever it may be. See, database generally who will work with the model, who will work with the database model only. Controller is the person who will control the request and responses between the model and views, right? Yeah. But if you can load database in a controller, that is automatically available to model. We don't want to load database connection in model again and again. Does not require. Just try to load inside a controller that is going to be available to model as well. See, sometimes in one controller, remember carefully, I'm just talking about in one controller, sometimes we may load multiple models, guys. Model 1, remember, model 2, model 3, something like this. Sometimes it is may required. We have to load multiple models. But generally, what we will do, we will load database here, we will load database here, we will load database here. Then what are you doing here? You are loading database connection in three models three times. But remember, if I load database connection here, DB connection in the controller, that connection will automatically available to each and every model. We don't want to load in every model separately. Just load database connection inside our controller, that will work automatically, guys. We don't want to make separate each and every time. We don't need to load database connection in the models, right? Don't worry, we will see it in the upcoming, guys. Don't worry. So this is what exactly, guys, manually working with. If you want to load database automatically, then what we need to do, guys, in our configuration folder, there is a file called autoload.php file. Now. Just open this autoload.php. There we can go there. There we can see some option, packages, libraries, and drivers, helpers, custom config files, and something is there, right? You can go there and you can see the libraries, guys. Here, just to see the libraries. Where is the libraries? This is libraries now. Here, if you want to work with the database, you can simply pass database here. Then what happen, we don't want to load database connection in any controller, any model, because you are loading in autoload.php, right? Whatever the things you are loading in autoload.php, that is globally available to each and every of your controller and model, guys, automatically. We don't want to load every time in everywhere. We don't want to write this offload of database, this offload of database, guys. This is not required. But which one is better, sir? Automatic loading is better or manual loading is better? Remember, one suggestion I want to tell you, where we have to load, sir. Which one, which connection is better? Automatic connection is better or manual connection is better? Remember the situation. When to go for automatic, when to go for manual connection. If you think that database connection is required for each and every controller, each and every model of your project, then go for automatic loading, automatically loading. Sometimes, remember, in some projects, database connection is not required for each and every file, each and every application, each and every file. It is not required. Each and every model, each and every controller may not require. Only for specific controller only it is required. Then what you will do? So you can load manually, guys. One thing, if database connection is common for each and every file of your project, automatic loading. It is a specific database connection is required only for specific files, then you can do manual connection, guys. This is the best thing to go with the manual connection and automatic connection, right? So you can do here over in a controller. What you can do, this is, for example, this is my connection, guys. Here, whatever the data we are yesterday we are validating, right, in the contact controller. This is what the thing we validated the data. After validating, we have to collect the database. Now we have to collect the data, right? After collecting data, I have to insert, right? Definitely you can load database here like this. This of load of database. This is what exactly we can load the database, guys. Yes, database is loaded. Once the database is loaded, sir, how can I execute select query, insert query, update query, delete query? Or how can I know the number of records in a table and all? For this, there is a library, guys. Once database library is loaded into your controller, automatically the library methods available to you. What is a library? It's a collection of methods. Database library is loaded. So database library contains collection of predefined methods and we have to access them, guys, right? All of you try to gone through the manual. Can you see here? There is a query builder class is there. We will talk about this query builder class later. So this is also very important. Running queries. If you don't know how to run the queries, click on this running queries concept and you can see there is a method, guys. Once database is loaded, your database object is available like this of DB and query is a method. So what we need to do, guys, here? So in your controller, if you want to insert data, first database should be loaded. Once database is loaded, the database object is available like this, guys. This of DB. This is the way of available DB object. This is the DB object. So in this DB object, we have a method called query method. Just pass the query inside it. What is the query you want to run? Insert query, no? Yes, you can write insert query here. You want to execute select query, you want to execute update query, or any of the query you want to execute. Yeah, this is the story, guys. Insert query we can execute, update query, select query, and everything we can execute, guys. Like this is what exactly the thing. Right here you can check the library methods, all the library methods you can see here. Simplified queries, there is some other method, simplified query. What is a simplified query? Everything we have to work with these things, guys. Okay, right, working with the database prefixes manually and DB prefix, protecting the identifiers. Can you see these are all the some library methods and we are going to see all these methods, guys. Okay, slowly, don't worry about it, right? So here they will give you some examples. How can we insert a data? Can you see what they are doing here? Here they are selecting the data, right? This is what we can call query binding concept. This is where question mark ID equal to question mark, status equal to question mark, and other equal to question mark. This is we can pass the parameters like this. In how to insert data, how to select data, you already seen in core PHP, right? But it is a framework is a little bit different, guys, right? If you have any error while executing, we can write this method, this of db of error. what this error will do, this error method will give you what is a problem in the SQL query. If it is a core PHP, there is a method. Do you remember? If it is a core PHP, there is a method called MySQL I underscore error. Here we have to pass the connection inside of it. Yes or not? Yeah, we have to pass. It will give you the reason why the query is not able to execute it. In the same manner, once database is loaded, to display the error, the this of db of error message. Right, so database, once database is loaded, the database object is available something like this of db of error. This is the way of accessing your things, guys. This of db, whatever the methods it may be. Here you can see this may be a query method, right? This is a query method. This may be an error method. Everything should be come from this of db, this of db, this of db. This means current class object. This means current where is this of db was defined in the base class of every controller, right? So this is how the things, and you can check the generating query results also. Here they will show you result array, result rows. This we have to talk about, guys, here. So once database is configured, how can we work with? I'm requesting you, all of you, try to go to the manual and read this information, guys. Database reference, at least up to here, generating query results up to here. And if you want, you can go query helper functions also. You can see the helper functions available there. Can you see insert id, and you can see affected rows, right? You already know about these methods. We is seen in core php affected rows, last query, count all to find the total number of records in a table. And you can see the platform, mysql, mssql, postgresql, which platform you are using, and the DB version, what is the version of the database, insert string. If you want to insert a, record into DB as a string, there is a concept called insert string is there, update string. Can you see these are some helper methods we have, right? So my suggestion, quick usage of examples, database configuration, connecting to database, and running queries, generating query results, query helper functions. If you have free time, please try to watch up to here in the manual, read concept by concept. In tomorrow, I want to explain you how to connect to DB, how to get the data from database, and how to display the data into a tabular format, and all we are going to see it, guys. So generally, you guys know in how many ways we can fetch data from result set in core PHP. There are 4 ways, guys. Do you remember? MySQL I underscore fetch underscore row is a method, right? As well as fetch associate, right? Like this, we have some methods, right? So in the same manner, here also for fetching data, there is some methods, guys. What are the methods we have there? That's we need to check it. So these are the 4 methods we have in core PHP. In the same manner, in CodeIgniter also, we have some methods, guys, right? What are the methods? Result, result array, result object, row array, row object, something like we have some methods, right? So what are the methods we have? If we can check this for fetching data, we have a method called result method. So we have a method called result underscore object, right? We have another method called result underscore array. You want to see the output as a associative array, result array. You want to see the result. By default, result and result object both are same, guys. Right? Result will return the result as an object. And these are the methods for fetching data, right? So what are these, guys? Fetching data from result set in CodeIgniter, right? So above are in PHP. This is fetching data. How can we fetch data? By using these methods in core PHP. But if it is a CodeIgniter, this is these 3 methods for fetching all the records. These 2 methods will fetch the data as an object. This will fetch the data as an array of array. But if you want to get a single record, there is other, guys. We have a row method for single record only. We have a row array. Guys, check this carefully. And we have something called row object. So these are the methods we have, right? So these 3 methods are for fetching single record. These 3 methods are fetching all the records. When you are iterating all the total number of records in a table, we have to use either result object, or result array. Which one you are flexible, you can use it, no problem. We are not recommending you use this array method, use this object method. I'm not recommending you. That is completely of your choice, which method you want to use for fetching data from a result set. You are flexible with array or you are flexible with the object. That is completely your choice. So you can use any one of it, guys. But sometimes when you're writing query, we will get sometimes array of objects also we will get. You don't want array of objects, you want to get array of array. Yes, we can get that by using result array, guys. You can see all these guys query helper functions generating query results. Here we have, right, result arrays. How can we get the result array? Can you see there is a method called result method? What is the method? We have result method. By using this result method, it will returns an array, right? So you can check this result array method. This is result array. So result object is also there now. Oh, result object is not there. I think we can use result object also. Let me check it, guys. Result object. Yes, it is also there, I believe. Result to result array, row and row array is there, guys. Here we have. So this some methods are there. First row, last row, next row, previous row, first row, right, last row. In terms of an array or associative array, undefined, unbuffered row. You can see the available methods we have, guys, here, right? Last row, next row, previous row, custom result object. Okay, lot of methods are there. Some of the methods I too didn't use, guys. Don't worry. Num rows. How can we find the total number of records from a result set? Num underscore rows, right? Once the query is complete, this is the select query we are writing. 1 minute. Let me write a query. Why not here? Go to your controller, guys. Here. What is our controller? I just want to go to my contact controller. I don't want to load here anything. Let me create one function in the contact form, guys. Okay, or else shall we create a controller simply? Yeah, let me create a controller and let me write a small query to get the data, right? So I will show you how can we iterate this data into a HTML table or some design format and all that we will see later. But just I want to confirm whether the queries are working or not and how this is going to be displayed the data and all. So go to controllers and try to create one controller. I want to create one controller. We have, okay, let me create one controller name called data.php. This is going to be data.php. Yeah, controller class is created. In this, it first extends with CI controller. Public function index. Right. So in this index function, I just want to load the database, guys. This of load of database. If you want to execute any query, first database should be loaded. Without loading database, we can't do anything, right? After I want to execute select query. To execute the select query in this this of DB object, there is a method called query, guys. What is the method? Query method. In this query method, I'm just writing select star from table name. First of all, open your PHP MyAdmin. This is the news database. In this news database, do you have any table? We don't have any table, right? Let me do one thing. In 7:30 a.m., I have contact table, guys. Let me click on the contact table. I want to move or I want to copy this table to news database. You can go to operations. Some option will be there, guys. Copy table. This is the copy. Just I want to select news and click the go button. Automatically what happened, the news contact table will move to news database. Actually, contact table was available in 7:30 a.m. From 7:30 a.m., the table will be copied to your news, guys. Can you see? 7:30 a.m. contact has been copied to news contact. You can go and check this news database. Can you see there is one table, contact table was copied. Whatever the data you have in your 7:30 a.m. contact table, the same data was moved to news of the things, guys. So, right now in my news database, there is a table called contact table, and just go and write the query. Select star from contact, right? Definitely it is going to give you some data of results now, or else you can write something called query. Okay, if you want to know the number of records, just I'm writing $query query of num underscore rows, guys. What is the method we have? Num rows is a method. Just I'm echoing to know the total number of records from the, what is this query? This query is result set. Okay, without having any problem, let me make this as a result set. Okay, result set of num records. What is the number of records in the result set you have? Now you can go and call the controller localhost news. What is the name of the controller? Data localhost slash news slash Just you can call data. Can you see guys, if everything is executed, you are getting 6 records. Are you able to see? You are able to get the 6 records from the result section. You can check the database also. Yes, it is working guys without having any problem. This is working fine. Can you see there are 6 records we have? I mean, your database configuration was successfully configured. We don't have any problem in the database configuration because it is giving the results, right? To get the data guys here, what you can do, this is number of records. For fetching data, how can we fetch the data guys? Well, a result set of result is a method na result. Result is a method. What this method will do, this method will give the data. If you want, you can just print it guys. Result is a method. I told you now here in the manual, how can we fetch data? By using result method. Okay, just I'm using result method. By using this method, we are fetching data. Let us keep this into a variable data equal to, and let me print this data variable guys. So you will understand, you will can see all the records here. Can you see? I'm just refreshing the browser. I think you can see all the records. But how all the records are coming, array of objects they are coming. Can you see now guys here? The differences also you can observe here. This is the way of fetching data. Let me write the pre-tag here. If you can write pre-tag, you will understand the things clearly. Right, refresh the page now, go to the browser, and just refresh it. Can you see? This is an array of object, right? Can you see array of object, array of object, array of object? There is a method. I use, what is the method I use here? This is the result method you use it for fetching data. Are you able to see guys, all of you? This is the result method I use it. You are able to see. Now let me go. In place of this result method, I want to write result array. Can you see if we can write result array method? It is also same guys, but it is returning the data as array of object, but this will return the data as array of array. Can you see the difference here? This is what the previous array, and here you have object. Can you refresh it now? If you can refresh, can you see this is going to be an array of array, array of associative array. Earlier was array of object, right? Yeah, this is the difference you have to observe. So now I have a doubt guys, in the manual I didn't see this method result underscore object. Let me go and write this method. Result object is a method. So let me refresh the page here. You are getting the output. But I didn't see this method in the manual. Why? What happened? Did they mention anywhere? I don't know. But anyhow, whatever it may be. So this is one more method we have. So maybe in manual also they will provide us somewhere, but I don't know where exactly they provided. But in the generating query results, I think they didn't mention this method anywhere. Is that not right? What is the methods they mentioned here? Simply, these are the methods they mentioned, right? So result arrays, right? We have result method and we have result array method only they mentioned here, right? Oh, here the above method is an alias of result object, maybe something like this they mentioned here. Understand guys? So my suggestion, if you can read the manual, you will get some suggestions guys clearly. Anyhow, we are able to get the data and we are able to display the data here guys. But one thing, tell me please, actually as per our MVC architecture, who is the responsible person to display the data guys? Model, right? But where did you write the database logic here? You're writing inside a controller, but controller is not a person to write to execute the SQL queries. Who is the person? Model. Definitely, whatever the queries you are executing here, these queries should be executed inside the model. I will show you in tomorrow's class model view controller communication with the database guys. Earlier also we created one session model view controller communication, but that time there is no database, but this time we have data. See, whatever the data we have in the table, 6 records are there. These 6 records I want to fetch, I want to display into a HTML table. HTML table is definitely, it's a view. Whatever the HTML table data we are having, that is static data, we have to make it dynamic. So by getting the data from model, tell me please, as for MVC, will a model and a view will communicate each other? Definitely not possible. Model view communication will always happens via a controller. So let's see how these two people communicate each other, right? That's what we'll see tomorrow's session, guys. Guys, if you have any doubts, please let me know.